Hi, this is Barrett from rhinestonealphabets.com, and what I'd like to do is just help you see how I go about changing the size of a design in CorelDRAW. Now, there's a couple of things I'm assuming here, and one of them is that you've gone ahead and downloaded the macro from macromonster.com, and it will help you in resizing these circles to the correct size. And also I use R-stones to create a really nice look to the design, and I'm going to show you how I do that also. So this is the tool from macromonster.com. It's called the Shaping version 3 by Dizzy. And again, our stones, I have a little rhinestone up there for that. So I've gone ahead and gone into my text tool and I have typed the word basketball right here. And if I highlight them, I'm going to show you what that looks like in my font spot here. You can see the name of it is the DoubleblockSmall. And I like using this font, especially if the word is long like basketball, because when it creates a really nice block design. It's a double rhinestone design, and on a long word like basketball, you're going to see that it keeps the length of the word doable to put on a shirt. Now what I'm going to do is highlight it and go up into the size box of points, and this particular font sizes for an SS10 stone at 144. So I'm going to just go ahead and type that in. And now it's come up at the size that it was created in. And let's just go up here a little bit away from this other stuff I have up. And if you look up here in the size box, you're going to see that the larger word, excuse me, is 11.5 inches long. Now, again, if we zoom in on this, you can see that there's a little space between some of the letters. And so right off the bat, you can make that a tiny bit smaller by just getting those words put together, the letters together a little bit more. So go in and break your artistic text, and then go in and break it one more time to get this word separated out. And I'm going to pull this word together, and that's what I'm doing, just letter by letter, because sometimes with these larger fonts in Corel, when you try to use the tool over here, the kerning tool, it's like Corel says, oh, I can't do this, this is too big. So sometimes it's easier for me just to use the separate the font out by characters and just move the characters with my arrow key. So I'm going to quit working on that at the moment and go to the next step. So what I did was I pulled this as tight as I could, and this is how it ended up. It ended up at 11.1 inches. But to save us a little time here, I'm going to take this to the next step first. What you need to do with this, assuming you're going to cut it, eventually get it to cutting mode, is I highlight it, I go up to Arrange and Convert to Curves, I combine, and I break the curve apart. What you want to end up doing is breaking apart all the little letters so that you eventually have little circles. And as you can see, it's sized pretty much perfect for an SS10 stone at 0.126. But let's say, looking at this, you want it a tiny bit smaller. Now, I typed in upper and lowercase, and immediately it's down to 9.4 inches, because that's what happens when you use upper and lowercase letters. But let's say you want to use all uppercase. in this case, this is how I went about doing this. I took my word, highlighted it, and I went up to this, made sure this is locked because you want it to stay proportional. I reduced it down to 10 inches. Hit the enter button. But now your circles are going to be a tiny bit too small. Let's look at those and see. They're at 0.11 and you want them at 0.126. So what you need to do, this is how I do it with this macro up here. Grab one of your circles and change it to 0.126. So now that is that particular circle size. Keep it highlighted and open up your macro and highlight that. Gather up your whole word and hit this button here. And what that's going to do is resize all these circles to 0.126. Now, the one thing you need to notice is that how well a design will work for a particular size word really is dependent on that size of that circle, if you think about it for a minute. So let's take a look as soon as my machine decides to respond here again. We're going to go in with the magnifying tool and take a look one more time at this final word, which again is now at 10 inches. I did it down here also. We're going to highlight it and zoom in. What you're going to see is, for the most part, you've got a tiniest bit of spacing. Some of these circles are touching right here and right here. And if you increase your, if you change your offset when you go to cut, you can possibly make these just a tiny bit smaller. But what I actually would suggest doing with this word is to increase the size slightly. So grab it again. Let's go up to 10.4 inches. All right. Now again, we want to resize the circles to 0.126 again. Open up the shaping tool. Grab your whole word and hit the button. And now we're going to take a look again at this. And you're going to see that we've created a little more space between the circles. And it's going to make it easier to send to the cutter. Now if this didn't work, what I would do again is maybe add a little more size to it and then resize them again. So let's take a look at this. And it looks pretty good. I might just change a couple of the stones as I see them here, the circles, because when you do go to the cutter, you really don't want your circles touching. It will make it harder for you to get your sticky flock to work correctly. So, of course, this is what I've done with this is I have added a rhinestone color to it. And the way I did that was, let's go back to our original here. Once I converted it in here to curves, I then opened up my Rhinestone R-Stone tool. And the easy way to get it into this program so that you can work with the different colors, maybe you want to send a picture to a client, is to go into the size of the stone, which in this case was a SS12, and you're going to make sure these are all checked, And I like this sized at 0.03 in this program. And then hit the button down here, and that's going to convert this to a color. Now while it's highlighted there, pull it away from your original. Okay, now you got a little color in there. But again, the next thing you would do is grab it, go into this button over here, and I want you to convert it to stones. And once that is done, you're going to see up close that it now looks like a rhinestone. Very nice. Now before I cut, I usually, if I'm working in Corel, I'll usually grab it and turn it, get the circles back to just regular circles, and I even take that outline away. So now it's ready to go to the cutter. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit and gives you some ideas of the versatility of using these fonts in CorelDRAW. Thank you.